In this video, I'm discussing the quiet part out loud, the cons, or at least the perceived cons about a VA home loan. So that way, when the time comes that you're ready to buy, you'll know exactly what to expect. I'm Jimmy V. Question, comment down below.
How about some of the cons? All right. After all, nobody's perfect, not even the VA loan. And if you had to kind of say, well, there's one thing, Jimmy, about a VA loan that makes it less desirable, you want to know what it is? It's the VA funding fee. Gotcha. The VA funding fee, right, I'm going to write that down here under the con section, is a cost imposed on the mortgage by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Think of it like this. In order for us to have a VA loan, you and I have to pay into the kitty, so to speak. In the event that veterans were to ever foreclose on a VA loan, the VA writes a check to the lender for 25% of that loan balance. And as a result, the VA charges that VA funding fee. First time usage, it's 2.15%. So if you're buying a $500,000 home, financing $500K, it's probably around $10,000 that's being rolled in to your loan. Now, for a subsequent user, remember I said you can have multiple loans throughout the duration of your home buying career. If you're buying a loan, or excuse me, buying a home for the second, third, 10th time, the VA increases the cost of doing business on this loan. In other words, they kick it out to 3.3%, which on a $500,000 loan balance, you do the math, right? Math for Marines, right? I can do that math. $15,000 and some change, right? So you can see that it becomes increasingly more expensive to utilize your VA home loan. But here's the most important thing that I want you to know. There are ways to get this VA funding fee waived. Jimmy, how do you mean exactly? Well, if you're service connected. Jimmy, service connected, what rating? 10%. As little as 10%, you're able to get your VA funding fee waived for life. Jimmy, you mean I'm never going to have to pay a VA funding fee again? That's exactly what I said. And not only will you not pay a VA funding fee, but you can use your VA disability income towards qualifying for the new loan. So you could make the argument that a VA funding fee is a con if you're not service connected, but at the end of the day, it's the only loan that allows you to get a no money down loan up to any purchase price that you would like. And if we as veterans want to enjoy this amazing benefit that we've been afforded, then we've got to put some money into it to make sure that it continues to live. Good to go? Now, there's a couple of other options that I want you to do about this, okay, or that I want you to know about. If you put down 5%, VA reduces your VA funding fee for you. Roger that? So it goes down to as little as 1.5. Guys, my writing is terrible. I am so sorry about that. But nevertheless, I hope you're still following me along. You put down 5%, it goes down to 1.5. You put down 10%, it goes down to 1.25%. All right. So there are strategies and ways to get that lower, even if you aren't service connected. So don't let people talk you out of using a VA loan because of a funding fee. I love Dave Ramsey. I've got videos on this, but he says that VA loans are more expensive in fees. I'm like, Dave, who told you that, brother? And the reason why is because it's not true. You use an FHA loan, you're going to pay an upfront mortgage insurance premium, and you're going to pay PMI. You're going to finance greater than an 80% loan to value ratio on a conventional loan. Guess what? You're paying a higher interest rate, and B, you're paying PMI. All right, I need to settle down here, you guys. I'm getting a little excited. Remember, link in the description if you want to find out if you're VA loan ready, or you can reserve a time to speak with me and ask questions about your VA loan. Good to go? Now, there's some other cons that I feel like you need to be aware of, okay? Now, just because I say that they're a con doesn't necessarily mean that they are true. What I mean is there's VA loan haters out there that will tell you things about your VA loan benefits that aren't true. Things like, well, the VA loan takes longer to close. Let me let you in on a little secret. Okay, the VA does not lend the money. All they do is guarantee the loan by 25%. So if somebody is taking too long to close on your VA loan, best you get a second opinion, because second opinions on the largest financial transaction of one's life is never a bad idea, right? And you don't want to work with just anybody. You want to work with a mortgage loan originator who is understands, I should say, the VA home loan benefit. Somebody might say a con of a VA loan is the appraisal process. I'm like, brother, who told you that, right? So VA loan appraisals allow veterans, right, to have a built-in feature that allows them to A, lobby for the value before it's even issued, and B, ensure that they're getting a property that is in alignment with market values. So don't let people tell you that VA appraisers are worse. I have another video that I interviewed a VA loan appraiser. If you want to learn more about that, I'll make a link in the description for that as well. Now, there's other people out there, I call them VA loan haters, Taylor. Okay? Haters, right? They tell people that the seller has to pay for all of the fees. I'm like, guys, I don't know how many years ago you're talking about VA guidelines, but the seller does not have to pay for any of the fees. So I talk about those cons, right? I'm not even going to write them down, but it's just kind of bum scoop that floats around throughout the marketplace, right? That ultimately ends up adversely impacting or affecting you as the veteran or active duty service member. And I'm not down with that. You as the veteran, right, need to ensure that you're utilizing this glorious benefit that you have been afforded with your blood, sweat, tears, and sacrifice. Roger that. My name is Jimmy Vercellino. If you found that this information was of value and I earned it, consider showing your love, clicking like on the video. And if you'd like to learn more about VA loan benefits, hey, consider subscribing to the channel.